press start if you dare.
I booted up the game at midnight, just a demo, just a test. But the screen flickered, turned to static, and whispered, "You're our guest." The loading screen won't let me leave. The pause menu laughs at me. A message types itself in red: "Run or dead!" Glitching walls and twisted code. For every door is locked, I'm cold. At NPCs just stare and grin. At yellow eyes pull me in. My avatar moves on its own through corridors that weren't there before. A voice says, "Look behind you," but I won't anymore. I try to log out, but the button is gone. The HUD clock says 3 AM. The pause screen blinks, you don't pull out, and my own reflection isn't me again. Glitching walls and twisted code. And every door is locked, I'm cold. Big NPCs just stare and grin. Have yellow eyes pull me in.
You pressed start, now you're mine. You pressed start, now you're mine. No more lives, no more time.
And every door is locked, I'm cold. Big NPCs just stare and grin.
You pressed start, now you're mine. You pressed start, now you're mine.
And every door is locked, I'm cold. Big NPCs just stare and grin.
Hey buckaroos, talking about Bronzo Star. Now some of you may have seen Bronzo Star #1. It's a supernatural western.
It's set post-Civil War, Alberta, Canada. A sheriff at Cobb's Gap, at that time probably the furthest north mining town you might find in Alberta.
I'd always wanted to work with Pat Broderick, and I said, "Pat, I'd love to work with you." And he said, "Mike, I'd love to work with you." And I said, "Pat, what do you want to draw?" And he said, "I want to draw a supernatural western." And so Bronzo Star was born.
I've been drawing comics for 49 years. And he asked me what would I like to do. And I just finished doing a Two-Gun Kid faux cover, just to draw something that wasn't spandex superheroes. And I loved it. So I told him I'd love to do a western, but got to add a supernatural element to it in today's market. He said, "Fine, I'll have a script for you on Monday." This is a Friday. Monday, that guy had a script for me, 56 pages. It's just that I had this idea for a while, wanted to do a western. When you said that, it was already in my mind. So it was just a matter of typing it out.
It is the greatest work of his career. Anybody who has seen that book has been blown away.
It's not my personality to say this way, but it's the best work I've done in my life.
What is Bronzo Star about? A little town at the foot of the Rockies that's very peaceful, very quiet. And the reason it's so quiet is because the sheriff has a unique problem. Once a month, he has to disappear for 3 days so he doesn't eat the townsfolk. That's right, he's a werewolf, and that's why it's called Bronzo Star. Because he had to have a bronze star made to wear on his chest because he can't touch silver.
It became Bronzo Star 1. And It was a joy to do for every damn page.
Bronze Star 2 continues that tradition.
I've just finished our second one. Here's my artist Bible. I got to do some fun stuff. The monster in this one is the Wendigo. And the monster at the end of the book is the Ogo Pogo surfing.
Bronze Star 2 has 2 separate stories. Both involve supernatural creatures of the Northwest. I researched these stories very carefully to make them accurate, true to the legends.
Worked on it for a year, poured my heart and soul into it, and I know that you guys are going to love it when you see it.
We're launching this campaign on Halloween, appropriately. Reserve your copy today. Just go to bronzestarcomic.com.
You pressed start, now you're mine. You pressed start, now you're mine.
I'm cold. Big NPCs just stare and grin.
You pressed start, now you're mine. You pressed start, now you're mine.
This is Cassandra Holloway recording from the Bermuda Triangle. This is me, documenting what happened here. In case I end up like the others. The artifact thing. It makes you crazy. It makes you do things you wouldn't do. We should have left the thing where you found it. Something is on board with me.
I'm cold. Big NPCs just stare and grin.
It doesn't matter. You can call me anything. Why you... Oh! Is that the way you greet someone you meet for the first time? Oh, lighten up. It's just a joke. I was just trying to be funny here. Looking forward to it, big sister! Yes. Nice to meet you. Here's a special magic I learned from older sisters! Freeze over! Panzer Blade! Transformation complete. Now prepare yourself. May your spirit be cleansed from existence. Set complete. This is the end. Transformation complete. Terror. My special Neptune Blade. This is it!
You pressed start, now you're mine. You pressed start, now you're mine.
Every door is locked, I'm cold. The NPCs just stare and grin.
Buckle up, because a new type of terror is here. That's right, you went and got your ass lost in the woods. That creepy old cabin you thought was a great makeout spot? Well, that's just the start of your freaking nightmares. Welcome to the hardest night of your life. You need to tool up with some of these sweet-ass weapons, because you just unleashed a horde of mutant weirdos like it's Saturday night at the frat house. Just look at these freaks. Creeper, Shambler, Scuttler, Smasher, and Splatter. Holy! That one just blew up your face. So what are you gonna do? Roll over and die, you goddamn loser? I say absolutely hell no! Get up, power up, and bring the people's justice to this f***ed-up forest. You want intensity. You want the fight of your life. You want frickin' insanity! Who doesn't want to save the world from a zombie apocalypse? While you're at it, you better make sure to keep that rickety old generator fueled. Because when the undead come knocking, you better be ready to bring the pain! That's gotta hurt. So bring a friend, bring some attitude, and bring your A-game. Have you got what it takes to survive the cabin?
And every door is locked, I'm cold. The NPCs just stare and grin.
Happy digging. Enjoy. Happy digging. There you go. Happy digging. There you go.
You pressed start, now you're mine. You pressed start, now you're mine.
Boar's rockets, Boar's rockets. Put a rocket in your pocket and launch your launch today. When you miss the call for chow, but you want to eat something now, you'll go for lunch with Boar's rockets. When your team is getting cream and your winger's out of steam, recharge your toss ball through with Boar's rockets. Soon you can save the day with Boar's rockets. When your ship's adrift and lost and the crew starts drawing lots, why won't your mates when you've got Boar's rockets? Boar's rockets, Boar's rockets. Put a rocket in your pocket and launch your lunch today.
Locked, I'm cold. The NPCs just stare and grin.
Round one. Ready? Go!
locked, I'm cold. Big NPCs just stare and grin.
You pressed start, now you're mine. You pressed start, now you're mine.
Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D Remake is coming soon.
Huzzah!
Continuing from the critically acclaimed Dragon Quest 3 is packed with new features not seen before in the originals. Dragon Quest 1 has been enhanced with new characters to interact with, additional dungeons to explore, and an expanded story to uncover, all to improve the player journey.
Well met, traveler.
In addition, instead of playing 1v1 as in the original, you, the hero, will be battling against multiple enemies. You will have to master a broad set of fighting skills and magic abilities to keep the burgeoning horde of horrific nasties from terrorizing Alefgard. You can approach combat in numerous ways, but a considered strategy is a must.
Such strength!
In the original Dragon Quest II, sigils were only used to advance the story. But now, not only do they appear in both games, they also impact and broaden the scope of battle. Sigils are vital to the story of Dragon Quest I and II, and will upgrade certain attacks and spells.
Magnificent!
Sigils can unlock new souped-up skills, incredible attacks and magic that could help you turn the tide of battle. Scrolls also appear in both games, whereby additional abilities and spells are learnt by using an item rather than leveling up.
It pleases me immeasurably.
Certain party members can learn the spell or skill associated with the scroll, and with a multitude of scrolls to collect, there's lots of variety and flexibility. Mini-medals appear in many Dragon Quest games, but for the first time, you can also find them in Dragon Quest I and II. They are hidden all over the land and can be exchanged for rewards such as armor, scrolls, and weapons.
Praise the Almighty!
A big addition in Dragon Quest II is an entirely new map to explore, the ocean floor. Not only will you be fighting against a flurry of terrifying new monsters, but there is a whole new story to be told, as well as new ways to traverse and new bosses. With additional areas including a mermaid town, a ghost ship, and an undersea treasure vault, you will need to find your sea legs quickly to become the master of the deep. While exploring the seas, be sure to look out for the memories of the world. The evil Hargon's horrid minions were instructed to take them all and scatter them in the most dangerous depths of the ocean. You will have to search for the memories and send them back to the record keeper at the Fairy Palace for safekeeping.
Adventure awaits.
Dragon Quest II also brings you a newly playable character in the form of the irrepressible Princess of Chenoo. She is a scion of Erdra and sister to the Prince of Chenoo, and raises havoc in battle using her swift speed and free-spirited and mischievous abilities.
Let the chaos begin!
In between fighting and exploring, you can also try your luck with the Tombola minigame, where you can win various prizes. Collect tickets on your travels, then use them at a Tombola machine to claim your prize. Anything from rare equipment and fashion accessories to other useful items to aid your quest.
Together we shall restore peace to this fair realm.
The timeless adventures that define a genre return. Dragon Quest I and II HD 2D Remake, bringing you new and epic experiences on October 30, 2025.
And every door is locked, I'm cold. Big NPCs just stare and grin.
Rated E for everyone.
You pressed start, now you're mine. You pressed start, now you're mine.
I'm cold. Big NPCs just stare and grin. locked, I'm cold. Big NPCs just stare and grin.
You had guys in their 20s. What kind of video game are they gonna make? We knew that there was something special going on.
Fight! Fatality.
The freedom that we were given to create that game, in hindsight, was incredible.
You pressed start, now you're mine. You pressed start, now you're mine.
Welcome. Have a seat. What can I do you for?
Locked, I'm cold. Big NPCs just stare and grin.
Surrender, or there will be trouble.
You're going down!
Trouble, then.
You pressed start, now you're mine. You pressed start, now you're mine.
Somewhere, in a secret room, in a secret place, a boy flips the switch on a curious old console. He wakes up in a strange new world, a land where only children live. In this world, monstrous olders come to eat children. When battling these terrifying olders, you don't just fight, your words work too. Through their anger, their sorrow, their laughter. By touching their hearts with your words, you might be able to save their souls. Your journey begins here, in this strange and dangerous wonderland. Stray Children, a bittersweet fairy tale RPG. Coming October 30th.
And every door is locked, I'm cold. Big NPCs just stare and grin.
You pressed start, now you're mine. You pressed start, now you're mine.
Mila Maxwell? It must be pretty weird having the same name as the Lord of Spirits.
Not at all. We are one and the same. I am Maxwell, Lord of Spirits.
Demonic chaos!
And what is justice to you?
With this weapon, I will shield the world from heaven's tears.
Final Fury!
It doesn't matter who stands in our way. We will carve our path forward.
Now you're mine.